Your sign of quality, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people, and intersex people, and ladies who transition into gentlemen, and vice versa. God, this is hard. I hope this movie's fun enough to get my mind off this gender crap. Wait, this is a superhero film? I thought it was a vampire flick. And I was all ready for a bit of morbid fun. That's a cute name. We open our flick in Pandora? Wait, I thought I already reviewed Avatar. This is bizarre. Well, our story begins with Jared Leto exiting the chopper with his moribund disposition and metal clutches, kind of like Jimmy from South Park, but with slightly better cheekbones. Drawing more blood from his hand than it's worth, our intrepid hero decides to summon a bunch of bats? Wait. I thought I already reviewed Batman. This is bizarre. Now, we morph back into the past with a young Jared Leto meeting another kid in the hospital. The two bond over their morbid fates, with Jared Leto even saying his friend's bony ass by an unlikely repair of some hospital equipment. Jared Leto's father figure, the discount Ricky Gervais here, tells him that he'll be getting into a prestige school and be a successful cripple, like that other Marvel character that isn't allowed to appear in this film, but somehow pals around with Doctor Strange. And Milo, well, he gets to play with other kids. Try to guess twice which one of them will be the villain in the story. Hint, it's not the more bold of the two. And this movie would not be a modern superhero flick without some diversity. Look, a black diet girl. And we got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez over here. So, AOC and Jared Leto enter a bat lab trying to invent a Marvel equivalent of Bruce Wayne. Sadly, our main guy uses a white lab mouse, and we all know that any new superhero that's white is instantly hated by the woke mob. Oh, these scenes right here? They're meant to show drama, more breathing, more sighing from the crowd looking onwards. Yes, it seems that Milo grew to be Doctor Who. Who knew? Well, looky-loo, they're quite the pair of the two. Jared Leto and Doctor Who, they pal around the cozy home, they traverse the busy streets, despite being more crippled than the US economy. They enter a suspiciously full park during the COVID-19 pandemic without a mask. They talk about their futures. Folks, I don't see anything wrong happening with these two in the foreseeable future. Okay, so the two scientists decide to go on an illegal cruise with lots of hired goons, one of them apparently being Hideo Kojima, and AOC starts to inject Jared Leto with a substance to turn him into Deadpool? Wait, I already thought I reviewed Deadpool. This is bizarre. Naturally, this is a modern woke superhero film, so of course our intrepid Latina senator has to show that she's strong and independent when a toxic macho manly man approaches her. Ugh, ew. The two put their petty differences aside when they realize that the main character of this film is gone. Until... oh yeah, this is what you've been waiting for. It's Morbid time. Our morbid superhero mows the goon while AOC decides to build a wall between her and himself, while Mexico paying for it, of course. Jared Leto can't stand her whining, so he starts to tear down the wall between them. In a shocking display of professionalism, the hired goons actually draw their guns at a safe distance from the literal vampire, telling the only unarmed, frail, girly person in the room to stay the fuck back unless she wants to be murdered. She of course rejects them, and their patriarchy so strong that it knocks her down and makes her faint. Our hero gets a sense of foreboding and decides to dodge the bullets in bullet time? Wait, I thought I already reviewed The Matrix. This is bizarre. Sadly, Hideo Kojima did not survive his first Marvel movie. No dead standing too, folks. Look at that beauty, though. Jared Leto looks far more human in his morbid mask than he does with Joker makeup. And that's sad. Our hero then mows down all of the goons, then observes his jacked-ass body in the mirror, but before he can fall head over heels in love with his morbiferous self, he remembers that his Latina beauty has suffered from fainted Marvel girlfriend syndrome, so he picks her the fuck up, calls the Coast Guard to get her across the border, and disappears into the night. Naturally, the boys in blue need a bit more boating experience before they can investigate a case like this, so let's ignore them and see what Doctor Who is doing. Yes, for a Doctor Who episode, this segment is rather boring. What's our morbific hero up to here, though? Our Morboy gives his Latina crush a visit, then decides to see just how much power he can muster from drinking more blood than any vampire this side of Vlad the Impaler, who wasn't a vampire, by the way, FYI, IMHO, JS, LOL, LMFAO, MTV, MGMCIA, FBI, YOLO, TGIF, EGIE, Morb, and then does acrobatics that would simultaneously make Batman, Spider-Man, and Deadpool feel depressed. We swear, he's a cool hero, kiddies. Naturally, Doctor Who comes along, quite tardy, of course, and helps Jared Leto get his white blood cell count back. Seeking for his own cure against crippling diabetes, Doctor Who begs the former Joker to bestow the elixir upon him, but thanks to a quick morb, Jared Leto gives the good doctor the Dalek treatment. Naturally, the Border Patrol finds AOC lying in bed, suffering tremendously after being roughly 700 meters away from the January 6 riots, and they ask her about her pale, screamy lover. She denies any involvement, and before we learn why she considers communism to be a viable method of governance, we cut to a random nurse being Ju-on the grudged out of existence. Is it our hero spreading more Billy to the masses? Only time will tell. The Border Patrol, however, does not take kindly to the people smuggling illegals across the border, so they pay Jared Leto a visit, and instead of going with them quietly, he uses this morbid knowledge and Ezra Millers the fuck out of them until he gets captured. While he's being interrogated by Black and Tan over here, he tells them that they're making him angry and they won't like him when he's angry? Wait, I thought I already reviewed the Hulk. This is bizarre. Naturally, Doctor Who comes back to the chit-chat with our protagonist and another sense of foreboding ensues. Jared Leto surely wants to believe his friend, but when said friend waltzes out of his cell, not supporting with his Ugandan extended credit card, our dear old friend actor decides to mob. Leto lets himself out more bidding around the entire city with the guys in blue hot on his trail, and he's in a rush to meet his old friend, but not that big of a rush to prevent him from doing a superhero pose, the kind every single goddamn superhero does all the fucking time. So in a twist that is shocking to precisely fucking nobody, Doctor Who turns out to be the guy who killed that nurse, and who took the vampiric jizz from Jared Leto, turning himself from Doctor Who to Dr. Wafang. And our intrepid hero more observes all of that with his echolocation. Motherfucker. Wait, I thought I already reviewed Daredevil. This is bizarre. Alright, the special effects in this bitch are at least a little neat. They look beefed up as all hell and they add nothing whatsoever to the story and the film is still fucking shit, but I won't lie. I kind of like this image of Jared Leto and Dr. Wafang duking it out in a fast slow motion, the same kind that Zack Snyder ass fucked into the dirt. There are even some slow moments in the battle which I can appreciate, but that's about as high of a praise I'll give this piece of crap. No more, no less. Oh, do we forget about AOC? Well, she escapes the dreaded Popo by entering this conveniently placed convenience store, with the owner owning the fact that he is as Hispanic as the cartel that got him to escape his shitty country in the first place. The cop doesn't find AOC because she's such a resourceful woman that not only she escapes the cops, not only grabs the obligatory Spider-Man reference, but also reunites herself with the object of her desires, the bearded Vampiroso himself. Naturally, AOC and Jared Leto go to a coffee shop not wearing masks, breaking the mandates just like real-life politicians and actors do, and in order to escape paying the fine, Jared Leto uses his superhearing to notice a bunch of guys who are smuggling blood or something, and then follows them to their hideout. Wait a minute, superhearing? Wait, I thought I already reviewed Spider-Man. This is bizarre. So, the only black dude in the gang threatens our intrepid hero with a death sentence unless he moves the hell away, and since our hero doesn't really like the morbidly obese black men, he decides to mangle his hand hard. But this is a Marvel flick, so we can't really go two steps without a catchphrase or a one-liner, and in his signature one-liner, our ordinary man turned vampire claims that he's Venom. Wait, I thought I already reviewed Venom. This is bizarre. Now, get ready because this film is about to turn extremely heterosexual and extremely homosexual at the same time. We start with Jared Leto working on his new lab, all determined and badass, but then all of a sudden we see Dr. Wafang dancing naked to a shitty song, ready to show the world he's totally not gay by hitting on the first woman that he meets in the bar. Sadly, his soy boyness is too powerful that it literally annuls the effect of his vampiric infection. Naturally, this wouldn't be a crap movie from the 2020s if the love interest of our intrepid hero wasn't being hounded by the bad guy. So Dr. Wafang appears before AOC in order to procure information about Jared Leto. He listens to her heart in order to hear more beating than usual, but none of it happens. Once she's safe with her main vampiric squeeze, AOC accidentally cuts herself, leaving a nice little droplet of blood to almost cause Jared Leto to morb. He damn near does at one point, but then chillaxes when she hits her hand on the floor. Remember, she's a strong, independent Latina lady, so she needs these little victories. Oh, who knew they were going to shack up? And that the villain will notice? Why, I had no idea. The New York's finest decide to perform some groundbreaking research and spot the only goddamn CCTV camera in the city, pursuing its contents for the investigation. They spot Dr. Wafang, who stupidly looks at the same fucking camera as if wanting to get caught, and suddenly decide to tell the news that Jared Leto's totes malotes not a bad guy, that more bad guys are afoot, that more bad vampires are morbidly massacring people in more bloody ways than most can imagine, mowing down folks left and right and center. Discount Ricky Gervais is not happy to see his British protege being all angsty on camera like that. so he probably will talk some sense into him. Yeah, didn't think so. Of course, the happy couple spends more time together before the ultimate battle occurs. Fuck yeah, Morbin time again! The eternal story. Man finds woman. Woman dies in his arm. Man drinks her blood. Man wants eternal love? Wait, I thought I already reviewed Interview with a Vampire. This is bizarre. I'll say it again. The effects of this fight, they look neat. It's still a shit movie though, and it's predictable as hell. Look at this. Jared Leto is losing. Dr. Wafang is going after him hard. Jared Leto uses DC Comics logic to his advantage. Wafang is pinned down. Leto injects him with the end of the movie juice. Dr. Wafang reverts to Doctor Who and then becomes Doctor Who used to be in a matter of milliseconds. Yes, the end of the movie is here, and yes, the Batman cliché is back again, and yes, AOC becomes a vampire, going against her abortion rights rant by refusing to get herself aborted from life via vampiric bite. Roll credits. Jesus, even a crappy movie has to have an idiotic Marvel tie-ins. Who the hell wanted to see a Vulture/Morbius team-up? Who? Honestly, fucking who? But hey, it could be worse. It's not like they'll aim for a Morbius and Blade team-up. That'd be horrible.